Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us today. For the next few minutes, I want you to think of me as your personal guide, your mentor, basically. Look, if you're tuning into this, you're probably searching for a way out of that endless time for money trap, right? You want to build actual wealth, but maybe you're starting from total scratch with, well, zero startup capital. If that sounds like you are in the exact right place. Today, we're unpacking a really fantastic roadmap for beginners. It's completely based on the latest insights into building passive income in the digital age. We're going to take you from absolute zero all the way to a global audience, step by step. Let's get into it. So, let's address the elephant in the room. Can you really earn money while you sleep? I mean, that is the ultimate dream, right? The short answer, yes. But the longer, far more honest answer is, yes, but definitely not instantly. I want to shatter that whole make money instantly myth right out of the gate here. Passive income absolutely does not mean no work. In fact, it's quite the opposite at the start. It requires a massive amount of active upfront effort. You literally have to build the engine before you can expect it to run on its own. So we really need to adjust our expectations from getting rich quick to building a sustainable asset. Okay, here's our roadmap for today's session. First, the reality check. 2. Low-cost beginner streams. 3. Avoiding the income traps. 4. Reaching a global audience. And finally, managing your global payments. All right, let's jump straight into part 1, the reality check. So let's lay the foundation. This is the exact trade-off every single beginner has to face. When we hear the phrase passive income, a lot of us immediately picture traditional stuff, right? Like buying a rental property. But let's be real, that requires a huge upfront financial investment. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars just for a standard down payment. Now, if you don't have that kind of cash lying around, you're not locked out of the game. You just have to invest your time instead. Building a niche content channel or digital brand, the financial barrier there is practically zero. But, and this is a big but, it demands a really steep upfront time commitment. You are essentially trading your sweat equity today for financial equity tomorrow. Which brings us nicely to part 2, low-cost beginner streams. If you're starting out with way more creativity than cash, this is exactly where you want to channel that upfront time investment. These are super accessible, budget-friendly avenues. First, you could build a content platform to attract an audience in today's attention economy. Or you could offer downloadable templates, tools that help people solve a really specific problem. Got a special skill? You can package things you already know how to do into an online course using free or super cheap tools. Another great option is starting a print-on-demand business, selling custom designs on stuff like mugs or t-shirts. Honestly, print-on-demand is a genius beginner move because you completely outsource the entire manufacturing, shipping, and inventory process. You literally just get to focus on the fun stuff, the design, and the marketing. Now, the big secret sauce underlying almost all of those streams is the concept of a digital product. That's basically anything sold online in an electronic format. Think ebooks, templates, courses, or even software. So why are digital products the absolute holy grail for beginners? One word: scalability. It takes the exact same amount of effort to write an ebook whether you sell a single copy or 10,000 copies. Once the product is built and you've got your marketing dialed in, your ongoing effort is incredibly minimal. You make it once and you can sell it infinitely. It's a real game changer. And that idea naturally flows right into another highly accessible avenue: affiliate marketing. If you're just not ready to create your own digital product yet, no problem. You can promote other people's stuff. You just share a referral link with an audience that trusts you, and whenever they buy, you earn a commission. It's a fantastic, low-risk way to dip your toes into passive income. Now, it's more like medium passive because you do need to keep pushing out content to send traffic to those links, but it lets you start earning without ever having to design a product or handle pesky customer service yourself. Let's move on to part 3, avoiding the income traps. Okay, time to put on my mentor hat for a second of tough love. Because passive income sounds so amazing, the internet is absolutely swarming with bad actors trying to exploit beginners. You need to memorize these red flags. First, if anyone ever promises you guaranteed earnings, run. Second, if they use high-pressure tactics trying to force you to invest your money straight away before you can even think it through, walk away immediately. And finally, if there's a total lack of transparency about how the money is actually being made, just do not engage. Real passive income is a business, and businesses always have risks. Anyone telling you otherwise is straight up running a scam. But hey, outright scams aren't the only trap. You also have to watch your back for the silent killers of passive income: hidden fees. When you use online platforms to sell your stuff or process payments, they're obviously taking a cut.
You need to be hyper aware of currency conversion fees, payment processing fees, and whatever overall commission the platform takes. So many beginners don't even realize they're losing like 3 to 5% on every single transaction. If you aren't paying close attention, these unseen costs will just quietly drain your hard-earned profits before the money ever even hits your bank account. We really need to internalize this harsh industry reality. A lot of passive income streams require a significant upfront time or financial investment. Honestly, writing that ebook or filming that shiny new online course, it might take you weeks or maybe even months before it generates a single dollar. You have to temper your expectations. Please don't go into this expecting some massive windfall on day one. Patience and persistence, those are literally your greatest assets here. All right, let's look at the big picture in part 4, reaching a global audience. Once you actually have your income streams set up, it is time to think bigger. This is where the true magic of the digital creator economy happens. Think about it. When you open a local brick-and-mortar store, your customer base is literally limited to the people who happen to drive past your building. But when you create scalable digital products and publish content online, your customer base instantly spans the entire globe. You naturally attract a worldwide audience in the attention economy. You're no longer restricted by geography, which means your earning potential is, theoretically, limitless. But, as you might guess, this incredible global reach introduces a completely brand new hurdle. So, what are the biggest financial mistakes people make internationally? Well, when your customers are in the UK, Australia, Japan, and Brazil, they're paying you in completely different currencies. If you just rely on traditional banks to process these international payments, you are going to get absolutely crushed by horrible exchange rates and those cross-border bank fees. They can easily eat a huge chunk of your revenue. Just like that, a massive portion of your global profits vanishes into thin air. No way we're letting that happen. And that perfectly sets up part 5, managing your global payments. To solve this exact hidden fee trap, you really need smart infrastructure, specifically tools that offer wise business perks. By utilizing a multi-currency account, you can actually receive payments from all over the world as if you were a local resident. You get major local account details, which means you aren't dealing with those ridiculous international wire fees. And here's the absolute best part. When you convert that money back to your home currency, you get the mid-market exchange rate. That's the actual exchange rate you see when you search on Google. That alone saves you from the typical bank markups that steal 4 or 5% of your cash. Plus, there are no monthly account fees eating into your margins while you're still in the process of building your audience. On top of all that, a modern payment infrastructure seamlessly connects with the platforms you'll actually be using to sell your digital goods. You can route your payouts directly from places like Amazon or Stripe right into your multi-currency accounts. You get free invoicing tools, direct syncing with accounting software like QuickBooks, and even batch transfer capabilities for up to 1,000 people if you ever need to pay freelancers or affiliates yourself. Why does all this tech stuff matter? Because the whole goal here is passive income. You want to spend your valuable time creating and growing your business, not playing the role of a full-time accountant trying to reconcile international bank fees. These integrations automate all those administrative headaches for you. So, that brings us to our final thought. And my main question to you today, are you ready to put in the upfront work to build your financial independence? We've covered the reality of trading your time for digital assets. We've explored some incredible low-cost streams like digital products and print on demand. You now know exactly how to spot the scams, and you know how to build the right financial infrastructure to actually keep the global profits you earn. The roadmap is right here in front of you. Yes, it's going to take small steps and a lot of consistent effort, but that long-term payoff is entirely in your hands. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what you build.